There are three ways to create variables in JavaScript. Let's talk about block scoping and function scoping. I'm going to create a new function and we will have a greet function. Let's create another variable by using var hello world. So I'm going to call this greet method. Now the message variable is available for this greet function. So var provides you function scoping. Let me execute that. So we need to log this message. Incredible. Here we have hello world. Let's try to access the message variable outside this greet function. Let me do that. Message. Let me refresh that. Incredible. Here we have message is not defined because var provides you the function scoping. Let me try to access message variable here. You will see the message is not undefined if you try to access as a global variable because message is undefined. So var provides you the function scoping. Let's do in this way. I'm gonna do if language is equals to English. Let's define the first language variable. Var language is equals to English. What I want to do here, I want to log the message. Let's create the variable first. Greet message. Hello world in English. Cool. Let's try to log that. Console.log greet message. I'm going to refresh that. Oops, here is a typo here. Language. Let's try to access that. Incredible. Here we have hello world in English. Let's try to access this greet message outside this if block. Let me show you. Will you access that or not? Let me refresh that. Oops, there is a problem. Did you see that? Hello world in English. So that is a problem with var. You can access the function outside the block scoping. var does not provide you the block scoping. So how can you fix this problem? So there is a let here. Let provides you the block scoping. So you cannot use this greet message outside this block. Let's try to access that. Boom, here is an error. Greet message is not defined. You can also try to access that. Let's try to access that greet message. Incredible. Greet message is not defined. Let me change to var. Now let's try to access this greet message. Oops, there is a problem. You can access that because I have changed let to var. So if you try to use the let, you will not access this greet message. Let me refresh that. Now it's time to access the greet message. You will get the message, warning message, error. Bam. Here is a greet message is not defined. So you can also do in this way. Const means you could not change this greet message. Let me refresh that. Greet message. Cool. Here is a problem. Greet message is not defined. So that is the difference between var, let, and const. So there is another value. Let's talk about const. You could not change this value constant because it is constant. Let's try to change the value. I'm gonna put random string. Let me refresh that. Incredible. Assignment to constant variable. Type error because you could not change the value of the constant. So var provides you the function scoping and let provides you the function scoping and block scoping. Let's talk more about the let variable. So we have two variables, greet message and language. I'm gonna add another if condition. Let's try to test that. If language is equals to English, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create another greet message variable. This time we need to send welcome to ES6. So what do you think the output of this greet message? What is inside this greet message variable? let's try to log that greet message. I'm going to refresh that. Boom, here we have welcome to ES6. It has logged this value greet message, and here we have hello world. The main purpose is that let also allows you to block scoping. So this greet message is available inside this block, and it's a different variable. And here we have greet message. It is available to this scope, global scope. You can also access this greet message. Incredible. Here we have hello world. It has logged this hello world. Let's talk more about the use cases of let. So here we have greet message variable, and I have declared as a var. I'm going to refresh that. Let's try to access the greet message. Now anyone can access this greet message. So basically it's available on the parent scope. If multiple developers with working on different files, now anyone can change this greet message variable. Anyone can manipulate this greet message variable. So how can you solve this problem? If you're working with var, you can use ify function, immediately invoke function. It is going to immediately invoke. Now this greet message will be available inside this function. I'm going to refresh that. Let's try to access the greet message. Boom, there is an error. Greet message is not defined. So you can solve this problem by creating the ifs if you are working with var. There is another solution. You could use const or let. I'm going to use const here, greet message, and let's declare that hello world. And let's say if you are using greet message with inside the block, now no one can access this greet message. Let's try to access here. Greet message is not available on the parent scope. Let's refresh that. Let me declare the greet message inside this scope here, block scope, like inside this block. Now I would like to access the greet message. Incredible. Greet message is not defined. So there is another use case of using the let. If you are working with loops, let's try to show you. I'm gonna execute the loop. I is less than 10, let's say I plus plus, and here I am going to log the value of I. Let's say the value of I, and refresh that. Boom, value of I. But there is a drawback here. You can still access the value of I. Let me log that. Bam, here we have 10. You can also access the value of I is here. I is equal to, you can say I minus 1. You can manipulate the value of I. So that's the problem with var. On the other hand, you can use, let me show you another drawback or another gotcha with var. If you are working with asynchronous, let's say you are sending requests to the network request or database request, it will take 1 second to finish that. I need to provide the 1 second here. What do you think? What will be the output? Let's try to execute that. Bam! The value of I is 10. It has logged the value of I 10 times. So that's a problem because it is going to overwrite the value of I. After 1 second, the value of I is 10. Now it is going to overwrite the value of I. Let's log here. You will see the value is in proper way. Boom, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it has logged at 10 times the value of I 10. How can you fix that? There is a simple solution to fix this problem. You have to use let here. Incredible. The value of I 0, 1, 2. Now you can see the value in correct way. You could not access the I here. Let's try to access that. Boom. I is not defined. Did you see that? Let's talk more about the use cases of const. First of all, I am going to declare a variable greet message with var hello world. Let's try to log here console.log greet message. We did not declare the greet message first. We did not declare here greet message. So what will happen inside the console? Let's try to test it. Let's try to console it again. I'm gonna refresh that. Incredible. Here we have undefined. Now you got the output hello world. So that's a problem with var. Var allows you to log the variable without declaring it. It will print the undefined. So what will happen on the other side if you try to use const here? It will not allow you to console the variable because you did not declare that first. Let's try to refresh that. Boom. Here we have greet message is not defined. You will see the same output error message with the let. Let me refresh that. Boom. Here we have greet message is not defined. So it's a proper use case. Use let and const. Do not use var.